Today's talk is about consultation. Now, recall during his previous term in government, Prime Minister Trudeau was clear to say, consent under UNIDRIP means consultation. And consent under any Section 30, notice that the Section 35 doctrine, domestic doctrine, speaks of one of the components of lawfully being able to push you aside, and that is that there's some consultation. In fact, the courts have gone a little further and said it must be meaningful consultation. Well, what's consultation? Consultation's a talk. So basically the court said, you must have a meaningful talk with these people before you are able to push them aside, because someone else can make some money off of the resources and lands where they are. They're just beasts of the field, because remember, this is based on doctrine of discovery. So, let's be a little more humane about it and give them some notice, give them enough time. Talk to them meaningfully about the fact this is happening. They don't have a decision-making power on this, of course. It's just consultation. It's just a meaningful talk. So let's kind of put this into perspective. Imagine, if you will, I'm a tenant in an apartment building, and I go to my landlord to have a meaningful talk with the landlord. And I'm most sincere, and I'll give full details. And I'm saying, look, you know what? Yes, I'm your tenant, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear down this apartment building, and I'm going to put in a really nice, smooth parking lot. You know why? Because I want my friends to be able to show off their rides, because I like muscle cars, exotics, tuners. And, that's really what I want to do. And you know what? I might even be able to charge admission for other people to come and see these rides, because they're cool. And maybe even a little bit of racing might happen. But I assure you, and I'm absolutely sincere about this and most meaningful in my conveying this, that there won't be any burnouts happening. We won't allow that. So it'll keep the noise down a bit, because that's kind of annoying, and we appreciate people might not like that. So we're going to really mitigate those infringements. We're going to mitigate the infringements on people's ability to have kind of a peaceful neighborhood. Do you really think that landlord could be expected to take me seriously? Would he not laugh? Would my landlord not laugh me out of his office? Would he not say, your rent is due, you're limited to what you can do in your apartment, and no, you're not tearing down my apartment complex in order to put in something that you want to do that you might be able to make money from? Because of course I could make a big profit still paying my, monthly rent on the basis of a one-bedroom apartment. In exchange, I have the whole place leveled and have a whole big parking lot and charge people admission. And let's not forget the concession stands. There's a lot of money I could make. That's just not how it works. And that's what's so ridiculous about this domestic Section 35 doctrine. And for anyone to suggest that the actual decision makers, the people who actually have the collective interest, that together as nationals, forming a nation and owning this land, and have provided permissions to Her Majesty for certain limited uses, in particular to exercise partial political sovereignty, to have that turned around and to say, here's what we're going to do with your land now. We don't care about treaties. Well, that's why Canada's an outlaw nation. And that's why that Section 35 pilot project that former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau put in place and said, watch me, I can handle this Indian problem. I'm going to wrap this up. That pilot project that's now been exported and put into a template to tell other UN member states, this is how you do it. Because if enough of us do it the same way for a long enough period of time, we can actually change international law, and we can actually do these things, because you know what? They're not really fully human. They weren't really nations. These weren't really treaties. This is the way we get out of it. Don't hold your breath on that one. That's all I have to say.